In 2026, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney made a major announcement. Canada was launching its very own sovereign wealth fund, called Canada Strong. But what exactly does that mean, and why should you care? Let's break it down. Imagine your family has a big jar of savings sitting on the kitchen counter. Instead of letting that money just sit there losing value, you invest it so it grows over time. A sovereign wealth fund is basically that same idea, except instead of a family, it's an entire country doing the saving and investing. A sovereign wealth fund, often shortened to SWF, is a massive pool of money owned and managed by a national government. The government takes this money and invests it in things like stocks, bonds, real estate, and infrastructure projects, all with the goal of growing the nation's wealth over the long term. So where does all this money actually come from? Governments typically fund sovereign wealth funds using revenue from natural resources like oil and gas, from trade surpluses, that's when a country exports more than it imports, or by deliberately setting aside a portion of the national budget. For Canada Strong, the idea is to channel some of Canada's resource wealth and government revenue into long-term investments. Once the fund has money, professional investment managers are hired to decide where to put it. They don't just dump everything into one stock or one company. That would be way too risky. Instead, they spread the investments across many different types of assets, like stocks, bonds, real estate, and even entire companies. This strategy is called diversification, and it's basically the investing version of not putting all your eggs in one basket. The main goal of a sovereign wealth fund isn't to make a quick buck. Unlike day traders or speculators, S2Fs invest for the long haul. We're talking decades, not days. The idea is to build wealth slowly and steadily so that future generations of Canadians benefit, even long after the current government is gone. Think of it as planting a tree today so your grandkids can enjoy the shade. Canada Strong has a specific focus. It aims to invest heavily in Canadian industries, things like clean energy, critical mineral mining, and cutting-edge technology. The idea is to strengthen Canada's own economy from the inside, create jobs, and reduce the country's dependence on other nations for key resources and technologies. It's about making Canada more self-sufficient and competitive on the world stage. But here's the thing. Sovereign wealth funds aren't risk-free. Not even close. Financial markets can crash, real estate values can plummet, and companies the fund invests in can fail. When that happens, billions of dollars of taxpayer money can be lost. During the 2008 financial crisis, for example, many sovereign wealth funds around the world lost hundreds of billions of dollars in value almost overnight. There's another big risk that has nothing to do with markets: political interference. What if a government decides to use the fund to reward political allies, bail out failing companies for votes, or fund pet projects that don't make financial sense? Without strong, independent oversight, a sovereign wealth fund can become a political piggy bank. That's why transparency and accountability are absolutely critical. The most successful sovereign wealth funds in the world, like Norway's, work well because they follow strict rules. Their investment managers are independent from politicians. Their holdings are publicly disclosed, so anyone can check, and they follow clear ethical guidelines about where they will and won't invest. If Canada Strong wants to succeed, it'll need to follow a similar playbook, keeping the fund professional, transparent, and free from political meddling. So there you have it. A sovereign wealth fund is one of the most powerful financial tools a country can create, a way to turn today's resources into tomorrow's prosperity. Whether Canada Strong becomes a success story or a cautionary tale will depend on smart investment management, strong rules, and citizens like you holding leaders accountable. Because at the end of the day, it's your money, your future, and your country. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop asking tough questions.